Hello, Gemini. This is Sage, and welcome to your reading. So, for today's reading, I'm going to simply check. Um, what the focus should be on. Right? Let's see. Okay, that one came out just like that, but this one was what I reached out for. So this one I think is gorse, and that one. So yeah, no, okay, sorry. So this one is ivy, and this is what I picked with my right hand, with this is what I wanted. So this is about goddess energy, interconnectedness, support. Um, yeah, ivy, you know how it climbs up, you know how it needs support. Um, so, all right. So that's ivy, and that's what I picked up with my right. And what came out just like that was this little guy. This little guy is Willow. Yes, move and be moved. Find what feels good. Just feel. So what I'm getting just from this is that the focus should be, for you, Gemini, the focus should be on cultivating interconnectedness, um, a good sort of dependency. I don't know what it's called. All right, I wish codependency wasn't a bad word. You know, maybe interdependency. Maybe that's the right word. But yeah, so dependency is sort of essential to humans. Not survival per se, but more like in order for humans to thrive, right, there must be good interconnectedness. You know, you can't do everything by yourself, and so you need to lean on other people. So I'm guessing a lot of you are like independent women, or you're just like too used to doing things yourself, and this has come up to ask you to focus on opening up to trusting others, relying on others, things like that. And so over here we have Willow, which is what's automatically going to happen, once you're on this journey, right? So automatically you're gonna be um, feeling your feelings. You're going to be really taking a very natural, no, um, what's the word, you're going to be taking a very, what's the word, visceral approach to things. You're going to feel your way through. Okay. So yeah, going the ivy path will definitely help you um, be more feeling based, you know. So something to help you along this journey, because if you've been a certain kind of way, if you've been like this island, this self-sufficient paradise, self-sufficient paradise. I wonder why I wanted to say that. But it gets lonely, no matter how good it is alone, it gets lonely. And so So yeah, depending on others is really important, but it's going to feel weird. So something to help you refocus every time you feel weirded out. There's nothing sexier than my authentic truth. But it came up upside down, so I'm just gonna pick another one. My energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what will manifest. Well, that's true enough. This one here is really encouraging you to stick with your truth. You might have had a weird kind of reaction to your truth in the past, but it doesn't have to be the case anymore. You can own it this time around, not suppress, not deny it. Yeah, my energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what will manifest. So be aware of what you're focusing on. So okay, so that's that. Let's see what the Green Witch has to say, because this is also something that came up for you. So let's just pull out one card. To help you when you're feeling all the feelings, right? We have chamomile, gentleness, relaxation, sleep. On this spiritual journey, or on the journey of like inner work and stuff like that, I feel like people often underestimate how important sleep is. It kind of looks like this one, but no, there's a daisy. Yeah, not chamomile, but kind of looks like the same family. I think it is. So anyway, yeah, gentleness, relaxation, and sleep. Once you're on a journey to really do the inner work, and the inner work just changes, right, from time to time. Sometimes, as in your case, sometimes being too strong, too independent, just makes you feel so alone, makes you end up being alone. And so making that transition is really hard. And when you make that transition, a lot of fears are going to come up. Those are the feelings that you're going to be feeling. You can't avoid it. But so all of that fear that comes up, all of the anxiety that comes up, from leaning on others like you were always taught not to do. Excuse me, that's my cat. All right, yeah, so yes. So when you're on this journey, right, people always underestimate the amount of gentleness you're gonna need on this journey, because it's hard as it is. All those old fears are gonna come up. You're gonna need to relax, you're gonna need to sleep, just to adjust the cortisol levels in your system. All of this stuff is going to be hard stuff that you'll have to deal with, and you need that gentleness, you need that soothing to help you through it, because there's no other way to go about it. It's through, or you're through. No, I don't mean to say it like that. It's just okay. Okay, and something to help you trust and rely on others, let go of control. So, because that's like one of the major things, right? So, what's going to help you be more like Ivy? And we have the bud upside down, so I'm just going to pull out another one. The bud, the trunk, and I'll pull out another one just so that it's even. Protection, banishing negativity. Oh, that's so important. And makes sense also. So, alright, let's just finish up here because we started it. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm thinking, once you allow yourself to become more dependent on others, once you let go of control and stop like taking responsibility for the things that you normally take up responsibility for, and let it go so that someone else will pick it up, but in that space of time, there'll be a lot of anxiety that comes up, when you do a thing like that. And there'll be a lot of like negative spirals that you'll be going through. So salt is a good protection against negativity. You can do a foot soak. That's quite nice, especially if you add like Epsom salts and magnesium chloride. Magnesium really helps with depression and it lowers anxiety. So yeah, a nice foot soak can really, help you. Paying a visit to the ocean and getting your cleansing that way can really help also. Yeah. And I feel like mostly you kind of need that protection. You kind of need that cocoon. This one is the one that'll give you that little cocoon, and this chamomile is what will, fill up that cocoon with soothing. So use accordingly. Really, you can be creative. There's so many different kinds of magic that's doable with just these two things. A little bit of chamomile, a little bit of salt. You can do wonders. You can make yourself feel so good in the moments where you're kind of overwhelmed by the onslaught of emotions just churning out of you. And also this keeps coming up into my focus, and it's sort of just saying that, hey, you know what, so on this journey you're going to realize that there are certain things that you would not like to do anymore. You would not like to accept that responsibility anymore, and that's okay. It's okay to accept this new truth of yours. It's okay to not be like the bossiest bitch in town. It's okay to not do everything on your own and then show up with great makeup. Like, you don't have to do it all, and it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to let go of things. You're not a bad person if you let go of certain things, certain duties and responsibilities, and God knows what else you've taken up that you're not supposed to. So yeah. And then we have over here, we have the trunk, and we have buds that's come up. And really, to me, it feels like, you've been growing all this time. Do not doubt that you are ready for this, You've been growing the trunks, you've been growing the branches, you've been putting out leaves. It's time for your buds to actually open up and flower, you know. In fact, that could be a really nice, pretty meditation that you could do for yourself that could really help. You know, imagining that you are a flower that is blooming. Because that is literally the feminine energy of Ivy. It is easy. It is uncomplicated, you know, and it's as calm and as simple and as straightforward as a blooming. It'll happen in its own time, you know. There's a little ant roaming everywhere. It's okay, babies. Okay, and then finally we have the unstable unicorns that came up for your reading this time. I don't know what it is, Gemini. I think the universe was just like, Gemini's reading is way too serious. We need to lighten it up. So let's see what we get here. We have the free candy unicorn. We have the baby unicorn, but this was like upside down. So a clarifier for the baby unicorn in particular. Dominatrix. That's a weird set of that's a weird set. Whew. Okay, didn't mean to do that. And I'm not gonna read this. It's a bit much. Seriously, you've gotta stop doing that. Seriously, you've gotta stop doing that. Okay. Just one at a time cards, like seriously. Okay. So we have the horse with a dildo, and we'll take another horse with a dildo as a clarifier for this one. Well, and finally we have the stoner unicorn. Stoner unicorn. Yeah, okay. All right, let's see here. So this is the part that has all to do with your feelings, right? All to do with all of the feelings that's going to come up. You know, you got to make space for your truth to come up, no matter how you feel about it, and believe that it can change. You know, with some rest, relaxation, and good sleep, you can calm down about all of the alarming stuff that's coming up, and you can see it with eyes of love and calm common sense. And then we have the salt, of course, which is supposed to help you, you know, banish any negativity, just cleanse, you know, protection by way of cleansing, which is amazing. And then also to do in the same vein of like feelings and whatnot, we have the free candy unicorn with the baby upside down, with the muzzled baby upside down. Okay, first I think I need to focus on the muzzled baby with the dominatrix whip. So this together makes me think of like aggressive parenting, makes me think of, you know, parents suffocating you. Like seriously, they've been using such like It's so weird that the funniest cards are talking about like the deepest stuff, but I think I should stick to the tone. Maybe you like it that way. Or let me just like check how it's arranged over here. Shoo, 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 shoo. All right, so from what I see here, it really looks like, you know, um, you had some strict parenting, or maybe your inner parent is really strict with you. Um, there's this feeling of um, telling yourself to like shut the fuck up, or don't do this, don't do that, another mistake, you know. So there's like, when I see these two together, that's what's coming up. And so um, this fear of not doing well, uh, the fear of making mistakes, like having a harsh inner critic, something of that sort has really um, made you feel pretty much gagged and bound, you know, like you're choked up, you don't know what to say, you don't know what to do. And this has to do mainly with like your desires, right? You want to go after that lollipop. You want to go after that lollipop, but like your inner critic is going like, that's so sus, look at that guy, he's a pedophile, like, um, don't you dare, don't be a stupid fool, don't you trust, so this part of you is always looking to protect you. But this part of you, see, this part of you is always looking to protect you, but this part of you is a child. And the child needs to go after what it wants. There might have been some scary incidents maybe in the past, but as of now, you can go ahead and make mistakes. It's okay. You're not actually a baby, in danger of being picked up by a pedophile, you know. But you do need to let your inner child just go after whatever it wants, no matter how foolish it might seem. So, oh yeah, no matter how frivolous it might seem, no matter how sus it might seem, because right now things are different, things are safer. You can actually, like, since the IV stuff has come up, um, you actually have the safe space, or safe people around you to lean on. Okay, we are not in that unsafe situation anymore, and there is no need for such a strict inner critic, or inner parent or real life parent. There's no need for that anymore. There's no need for all of this rule following, because it's just choking up your inner child. And your inner child needs to do stupid shit, you know. So I guess now is the time for you to do stupid shit, just go after the damn lollipop. It's fine. It's fine. So, and then this side we have depending on people, right? And so the trunk with the buds over here, it's sort of saying that it's okay. Let me ask: does this mean that Gemini is dating right now, or well, well, I guess you are. You're playing it safe, more or less. You're being as safe as possible. Maybe you haven't jumped into bed yet, um, but you're thinking about it. You're getting there. So definitely, you're in that game. you know. And I guess you're searching for a partner that you can depend on, that you can rely on, you know. So I guess that's what you should focus on when you're trying to manifest the best partner, you know. Try and manifest someone that you can rely on, you know. And I wonder what this is about when I think it's just about the guys, or you know, whoever it is that you want to check out, have safe sex with. so it's okay. So for some of you, I'm getting the safest sex is no sex. So for some of you, you're not like, you're too scared to get into that step just as yet. But it's sort of saying, you know, you can use your imagination at least. You can um, masturbate and use your imagination. Uh, I don't know, like maybe fantasize about the handyman. That's a reliable dude. Or maybe fantasize about yeah, someone just uh, someone who is well dressed, all down to his boots, but he can get down and dirty and fix your plumbing, you know. so so yeah. Um, so even if you're not really hooking up with a lot of people, um, keep your imagination active, keep your libido active. No, feed your libido. That's what I want to say. And oh my God, so many ants out of nowhere. So must be because you're sweet as sugar, oh, Gemini. And then we have the stoner unicorn over here. And I don't think it really means you need to get stoned, Gemini. I think it just means um, what's your drug? Like whatever your drug is, use it, you know. Like maybe you're more of a beer person, or maybe you're into champagne. Well, drink enough of it to get wasted, or smoke enough of it to get stoned, you know. Like be a little irresponsible, Gemini. That's the only way you're going to break out of the whole independent, too strong for help vibe, and actually, um, you know, attract people who want to help you and take care of you. You know, you need to be a little responsible. So yeah, you need to indulge in things that you wouldn't normally indulge in, and yeah, so indulge in people, if not that, imagination, and definitely use something to help you loosen up, you know. That's always gonna help. That's yeah, just loosen up a little bit, you know. That's all you need. So there we have it, Gemini. You know, you gotta stop beating up your inner baby unicorn. Your inner baby unicorn is just tired of, you know, following a bunch of rules of so many things that it's not supposed to do, not supposed to do now, and not in this way, and not in that way. You know, it's just tired of all of that. For once, it just wants to go after what it wants to go after those lollipops. Wants to get wasted, wants to get stoned, wants to do all of the things, you know, really. And it looks like with the trunk and the buds over there, it looks like you're due for a glow up anyway. So, you know, you're gonna be glowing, you're gonna be attracting people, you know, you gotta loosen up, Gemini. You cannot not loosen up, Gemini. And yeah, be irresponsible, be foolish. It's okay, you know. the more your inner child shows up, the more someone responsible can come in and you know, help you out when you need to help, when you need that kind of help, and um, just yeah. So yeah, this looks like dating game plan, Gemini. Just go out there, but don't forget to take care of yourself. You know, a little salt in the bag is good protection. If that doesn't work, sprinkle it in their eyes. It's fine. You're good, Gemini. You're good. You know, your truth is amazing, juicy, and it deserves to exist as it is. No more editing, no more, um, tailoring yourself according to other people's needs, or no more, you know, trying to do this or do that. No more of this duty stuff. It's time to let your inner child really be free, you know? Yeah, so that's about it, Gemini. Thank you. Thank you for making it this far. All right, you have a good week. Bye.